Today I fucked up by flooding the second floor of a hotel. So this all happened last night at 7:30-ish p.m. I'm laying in my hotel room in rural South Dakota. I'm half asleep when my hotel phone rings. It's Curtis with the front desk and he begins the convo by asking how I'm feeling. I tell him I'm fine and ask the reason for the call. "Sir, I don't want to alarm you, but earlier today a woman was doing laundry on the second floor. We have reason to believe she may have accidentally broken a gas main. The gas leak has made its way to the hallways, and we've already received a few guest complaints of nausea, dizziness. Some are light-headed in rooms around you. We're in contact with the fire department who is on the way, but we want to take a few measures to reduce risk and help with your safety until they arrive. Can I leave? Grab my things and go? I was just pondering dinner. We don't want to start a panic and alarm the other guests. We believe it to be contained mostly to the hallways on your floor. We're hopeful the fire department will arrive soon. In the meantime, can you wet a towel, roll it up, and place it at the base of the door? Come back to the phone when you're finished, okay? I take care of the door and open my window as far as I can. It's 25 outside, but hey, I can breathe. I return to the phone and tell Curtis it's done. The fire department would like us to take precautionary measures, so we're asking all guests to unplug all electronics in the room. Can you take care of that for us and come back to the phone when you're finished? I unplug and turn off everything. A few breaths through the window screen. I consider jumping or running. Instead I go back to the phone and ask permission to leave. Were you able to unplug your electronics? Good. Now we don't want to evacuate because we're concerned of the carbon monoxide levels in the hallways. Instead, one last thing we want to do is disable the sprinkler in your room. In the past when the fire department came out for similar calls, there's been an instance where the sprinklers accidentally triggered. We don't want your room to flood if it happens again. If you're comfortable doing it, you'll need to knock the red temperature gauge out of the sprinkler to deactivate it. I don't feel comfortable doing that, bro. Seems like bad news, and I don't know what I'm doing. I might just come downstairs. Sir, please, the hallways are bad and the fire department's close. In your room should be a complimentary pen. Take that and use it to knock the red pin out. I can't explain my discomfort, but if it must be done, it must be done. I take the pen and knock the pin. Old dirty sewage water begins to fill the room. I panic and grab my work things, phone still off the hook. I run to the bathroom and briefly panic. After 30 seconds, something has to be done. I'm going for it. I wrap my face in a wet towel and bolt for the elevator. At the elevator is the manager of the property. No face covering, no urgency. Are you from room 206? Why did you activate the fire alarm? What are you talking about? Are we not in a state of emergency? My room is flooding. We need to go. Sir, WTH are you talking about? Actually, follow me please. As we ride the elevator down, I'm shaking like a leaf. I'm traumatized, but as the heart rate slows and I explain the situation, I begin to realize what manager was only going to confirm. It was all a prank. All my luggage and laundry got flooded. I sit in the lobby with drenched clothes, covered in colorful dirt, listening to the several guest complaints as the second floor continue to flood. I have just become public enemy number one in this small town. They can't shut the water off, no one knows how. GM and fire department arrive within minutes of each other. The GM is an amazing person with a heart of gold, extremely pragmatic. She hears me out and empathizes. Gets me a new room while I step out to grab clothes. Says it isn't the first time this has happened, and that she's very sorry the call made it through. Too long did not read. Today I got pranked and flooded the second floor of a rural SD hotel. Big sorry to the staff. I can't imagine what a pain in their side my stay was for them, but they handled it with grace and warmth. If this is real, this is such a horrible prank and such good way to sue someone for damages. Oof, I flooded a hotel in Italy once on holiday aged about 10. I'd never seen a bidet before, so I turned the taps on and then they wouldn't turn off no matter which way I turned them. I panicked and just went down to breakfast and sat there quietly shitting myself until the manager strode over asking my parents what the fuck was their child up to as the entire room was flooded and water was leaking out of the bedroom door. We were asked to leave. For the record, a sprinkler can only be set off by being exposed to heat or like this knocking the bulb out. It is impossible for a group of sprinklers to be activated remotely. Did you see that documentary about someone calling fast food places and getting the manager to do ridiculous things to their employees? This sounds right out of the same handbook. Sorry you had to go through that. I accidentally set off the fire alarm in my room from smoking weed and I was shitting my pants. Can't imagine. I mean, none of this seemed off to you? Haha. Today I fucked up by lying to my favorite teacher, then getting caught. I'm 18F, in high school, a senior, and typically I'm the person that shares the answers with my friend groups in different classes. I've done this for a long time, so it's never been a big deal for me. So a few days ago, I texted the answers to this mutual fund tracker project in my financial applications class to our group chat at my table. A couple of my friends needed it, so I figured I'll just text it and they can do it later. We're kinda a noisy table, but it's my favorite class because of that. I really enjoy my table mates and I look forward to this class every day. My friend, we'll call her L, is copying the answers off her phone in a no-phone classroom in plain sight, not to excuse myself, but come on. My teacher, who I'll call Ms. A, obviously catches her and asks what she's doing. It was kinda this all-around, OSHT, kinda moment at my table. Now I love Ms. A. She's taught me a ton on finance, helped me open my Roth IRA, and we have some EFTs that we both bought and like to ask if the other has seen the stock market, stuffs like that. She even has a friend in the career I'm going into and he's given me great advice in my field. So, L lies, tells her it's not anything. My teacher wasn't born yesterday, and keeps pushing, because why wouldn't she? I'm sitting next to my friend, sweating buckets because that's my work. Maybe she won't realize it's my work. Ms. A turns to me. Is that your work? It was a split-second mistake, and I feel terrible. Instead of being honest, I replied with a straight face, nope. Honestly, in my head all I could think of was I didn't want to be the one to get my friend in trouble, you know? Dumb excuse, but still. If she was going to lie, hell, I guess I was going to cover her, because I know it's screwed up, but shouldn't friends back each other up? I'm not trying to excuse my behavior, I'm just trying to figure out why I would lie. My teacher believes me, because she trusts me. I'm a terrible person. I'm not the type to lie to teachers. It makes me way too uncomfortable. I feel like an idiot. We're almost in the clear and Ms. A tells her to delete the photo. I can't delete it off my phone, has to be the one to delete it out of the group chat. Certified dolly zoom moment on my horrified face. That ducking snitch. L, you are an idiot. I named you L because it is common. My teacher looks betrayed. She straight up says, you lied? You looked at me dead serious and lied to me? And she looked and was really upset with me. Oh God, it was a horrible feeling. I feel so bad that I lied to her. I wanted to shrink below the desk and wither away on the floor. Walking to my next class, one was pissed, and I sat on the desk and I tried not to cry. If this helps a little, I have ADHD, and emotions tend to completely take over. I can't link it here, but if you look up rejection-sensitive dysphoria ADHD, it's how it felt. Completely overwhelming with guilt. I wrote her a letter in that class. I told her how sorry I was, that it wasn't okay to share answers in the first place. I drew a Dave Ramsey on it for her. I put it on her laptop during lunch and saw her beginning to open it, so at least I know she got it. She's an important person in my life, and has helped me so much. It's terrible knowing I hurt her. It's the weekend now, so I have to wait to see what she says on Monday. Yes, I'm pissed at my friend. Yes, she was stupid. But make no mistake, I'm the one who loaded the gun and tried to help her cover the murder. I'm the bad guy here, and the reason I have this guilt is because I F you. I'm not gonna share answers again. It feels bad. Knowing she spent that time trying to help us learn that important info just for me to hand off the work to lazy people. And yes, my friend is lazy. She has plenty of time to work on it. I'm so sorry, Ms. A. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Too long did not read. Teacher caught my friend copying my answers. I lied that they weren't mine. Friend was stupid and sold us both out. Feel terrible, wrote my teacher a letter. It's good you apologized. I'm sure she'll come around. You may have lost some respect, but you can earn it back by not cheating in the future and instead teaching your friends how to solve the problems themselves. You're 18 in high school? Opened a Roth IRA as an 18-year-old? Teachers providing investment advice? Mutual fund education in high school? Is this a private school? Damn. I drew a Dave Ramsey on it for her. Dave Ramsey sucks. He uses evangelicalism to hide his mediocre financial advice, and his radio show is all about pushing his class, which costs a lot of money for obvious advice. He also fires people for reasons unrelated to work, like he is some sort of moral authority. Google the story of Dave Ramsey and Chris Hogan. I am a teacher. Take a breath. We know you guys cheat. I guarantee your teacher isn't thinking about this like you are anymore. It's the weekend and she's out living her life. Do the same. Look her in the eye next class, say you're sorry and you won't do it again. Then don't say it again. You're fine. I don't think your teacher cares about you cheating to a personal level. Today I fucked up by saving a drunk girl. Last weekend I, 20M, was walking home from a lab at around 12 a.m. As I was approaching my apartment, I saw J, a girl I knew from class, 20F, laying on the lawn and choking on her vomit. I rushed to check if she was okay and quickly realized she was extremely drunk to the point where she couldn't stand. At this point I probably should have called an ambulance, but for some reason I decided to help her get home safe myself. I helped her stand up and proceeded to decrypt the directions to her apartment from her incoherent mumbling. We managed to find her home and I walked Jay to her door where I planned to drop her off. She entered the apartment, at which point I sighed with relief and started heading back when I heard her loudly collapse on the floor. This was probably my second sign to call for help, but again decided to handle it myself. I didn't want her to fall asleep before she sobered up a little so she doesn't choke on her puke, so I sat her on the couch and brought some water. At this point she was soaked in puke, so when I felt that she could stand up without falling, I sent her to the shower while I cleaned the puddles of vomit from the floor. After about 10 minutes, it's about 2 a.m. at this point, she runs out of the shower into the living room completely naked, jumps on the couch and falls asleep. I hurried to cover her with a blanket and decided it was best if she stays there for the night. Finally I grabbed her dirty clothes, tossed them in the washer, and left. The next morning I texted Jay to check if she was okay and to let her know that her clothes are in the washer. She didn't respond, and when I checked my phone in the evening I saw she blocked me on IG. I was a little hurt considering she didn't even thank me for saving her that night, but I didn't pay too much attention to it and carried on with my life. The following week was weird. My friends stopped responding to my texts, I was getting weird looks from classmates, and otherwise felt that something was off. I confronted my friend about it and he said that Jay told people that I RPE'd her while she was intoxicated. I was extremely lost and confused, and to hear that, because not only did I not do that, I basically saved her life that night, and now this is how she thanks me. I wouldn't never ever do something like that. My sister is a survivor as well, and I dread anyone who dares to use women when they are vulnerable. And I thought that my friends would know that, but everyone is siding with her. I haven't figured out what to do yet, but regardless it seems that my life is ruined. It's pretty fresh, so I am still trying to figure out a way out of this situation. But lesson learned: no good deed goes unpunished. Too long did not read. Saved a drunk girl's life. Now accused of RPE and my life is ruined. This is just a hindsight comment at this point. In a situation like these, before helping people other than giving first aid, always call cops and/or ambulance. It is extremely easy to get into a problematic situations by helping people, and for example it's least of your worries what they end up paying money and pride for being blackout drunk. Some of the responses on here. Sure, you shouldn't have put yourself into that situation, but it's completely unwarranted that you should be punished with such extreme accusations as being a rapist. Clearly the girl and all your friends have become judge, jury and executioner. Sounds kinda sus, to be honest. So you sent her to the shower, and she what? Got undressed on the way? Then after she came back totally naked you located all her clothes and put them in the washer? No way someone who was drowning in their own vomit is able to shower themselves. Something doesn't add up. You dragged a barely conscious person to their home, got them in the shower, and slept in their home? Buddy, you would have been fucking shot from where I'm from. Hindsight should have called ambulance and cops. Also, people here seem to have a problem with reading. Today I fucked up when I, 25 male, learned the language my girlfriend, 22, speaks when she gossips with her friends. This is not my original account. My girlfriend is South African. Her native language is Afrikaans. I've been learning how to speak Afrikaans without my girlfriend knowing. I secretly applied for online courses that I've been using on and off for more than a year now. My plan was to surprise my girlfriend and her family with my American Afrikaans when I finally meet her parents in person for the first time later this year. I never intended to eavesdrop or anything, but learning Afrikaans in secret accidentally exposed me to sensitive information that my girlfriend was sharing on the phone with her Afrikaans-speaking friends from South Africa. It was gossip I was not supposed to understand, but eventually I did. This is what I've heard in the past few months. 1. My girlfriend is planning to surprise me on my birthday by reuniting with her high school metal band and putting on a show for me. 2. My girlfriend wants to tattoo the names of literally all the Harry Potter spells on her back, but she doesn't know how to tell me because she's afraid I'll talk her out of it. 3. My girlfriend casually mentioned that one of the unexpected differences between her glasses and her contact lenses is that when she's on her knees looking up at me with her glasses on, my penis looks much bigger compared to what it looks like through her contact lenses, which is why she's keeping her glasses on during sex. Ouch. 4. My girlfriend is convinced that my parents are swingers because apparently there are always attractive couples hanging out at my mom and dad's house whenever we visit. 5. My girlfriend secretly finished the entire series of Better Call Saul without me, even though we agreed to finish it together, so now she's pretending to have no idea how the show ends. 6. My girlfriend is thinking about canceling the high school metal band reunion for my birthday because she's no longer sure if it's appropriate to team up with two of her exes that are original members of the band. 7. My girlfriend expects her dad not to like me. I would have preferred not knowing most of those things, to be honest, but there is no way for me to unlearn Afrikaans, so now I'm cursed with knowing too much while having to pretend I know nothing. TLR. I secretly learned my girlfriend's native language as a surprise, but during my learning phase one became capable of understanding what my girlfriend was gossiping about with her friends when she thought I didn't understand. I've come to regret not telling my girlfriend that I was learning her language from the beginning because I know things now that I wish I never knew. That wasn't all that bad. Honestly thought this was going to be much worse than it was. Good thing you're using a burner account to stay anonymous. Otherwise, if she browses the front page of Reddit she might get suspicious. None of these things seem to be very damaging to a relationship. Your girlfriend actually seems considerate, wanting to surprise you but not knowing if it will hurt you and worrying about how her family will like you. Could be a hell of a lot worse, and of course, never worry about the penis thing. Not the size but how you use it, right? GIF, emote, free_emotes_pack, shrug. The punishment for forbidden knowledge is knowing. Lol, keep it a secret, and when she asks you about it you just say, I'm speaking Afrikaans the whole time. South African here. The dad will probably not like you at first. It's a cultural thing with Afrikaners to automatically not like their children's partners, and a very South African thing for parents to haze their children's partners too. I am of course generalizing and stereotyping here, but be prepared to be given a hard time by the dad until you've proved yourself. After that, you'll find most Afrikaans people to be very warm and friendly when they get to know you.